I plan to let you know the longing of my heart.
I'm driving through Bristol. I'm on my way to meet some knitting friends who you're probably all aware of. It's Beks and Clare. They do the flock gathering. Okay, hang on a minute. So, Mr. B's Yarns, right? John and his wife Clare and Clare's sister Beks have a podcast called Birdstreet UK. And John has Mr. B's Yarns, and Beks is Beksy Norms on Instagram, and Beks Creates on YouTube. But I first found them through a YouTube suggestion for Birdstreet UK podcast, and I clicked on, and I just loved every minute of the podcast. I especially loved it because they're my fellow city girls. I mean, as much as I think of myself as being kind of a Bristolian, even though I don't live in the city. I live just outside of the city, and I wasn't born here, and I've only lived in Bristol since 2004, or the Bristol area since 2004. But you know, this is where my roots are. Bristol was where two of my babies were born. Wilfred was born at home on the playroom floor. Nice. So I'm driving through Bristol now to go and hang out in Beks's summer house, which she's put a podcast out about, a vlog. And Clare is going to teach us both how to spin. So I'm super excited. And Clare and Beks have a nephew who's... There's a siren, or an ambulance. Clare and Beks have a nephew who, I understand, he has a, I think it's motor neurone syndrome. I will check that. And he is exceptionally bright, and he's got a 3D printer, and he has printed Turkish spindles. And Beks put out on her Instagram that he was selling them, and I said, oh, put me down for one. I'd like a pale pink one. And this was at the beginning of lockdown. So when we found out about a week and a half ago that restrictions were going to be applied again, we thought, right, we better get taught how to spin. Oh my goodness. Some people just don't really understand how roundabouts work, do they? He nearly sideswiped me then, but I got dash cam. If I get into an accident, they might be a bit useful. So we decided that we would get together and do and learn how to spin before the restrictions became too strict. So we're going to sit in the summer house, which will have all the doors wide open, so we'll all be perfectly safe from one another. But I mean, I've got 3 children at 3 different schools, so I'm bringing home goodness knows, or they're bringing home goodness knows what. Beks works in a school. She's a class teacher of 30 kids, so she's in a germ swamp. And Clare's husband John, he also works in a school, so he's in a germ swamp too. So we've kind of all figured that we're not putting each other at extra risk, because we all have big enough risk as it is. And also, none of us are mixing with complete strangers, so if any of us were exposed to it, we'd soon know about it, and if we became ill, we could let anyone who we've been in contact know immediately, because we all move in small circles. We're kind of hermitish, really. I digress. That was a really long waffle, wasn't it? I was taught how to spin by a very funny teacher I had, who I had a love-hate relationship towards. She was called Mrs. Lenton, and I loved her for the fact that she was extremely funny when she read the BFG. I loved her for the fact that she was sometimes very kind to me. I found her confusing because sometimes she was very hard on me. And she was a very creative woman. We did our own version of the Bayer tapestry, but it wasn't a long strip of tapestry. It was a big square, but it was a plique and embroidered multimedia huge poster, and it was all based on the Sturminster Newton Steam Fair. I can see it now. I was the one that had to do the tractor, and she was cross with me because I was taking too long over it. She also had a witch's broomstick in the corner, and she used to say that she was a witch. She could have been a witch. She wore cable knit jumpers tucked into baggy jumbo cord trousers. She was thin as a rake, extremely wrinkly, jet black hair, and she smoked a pipe. She was brilliant. And she taught me how to spin. She taught us all how to spin. She taught us all how to spin with a twig and half a potato. So she taught us how to pick out the yarn, the fleece. She taught us how to card it and turn it into rollouts. She taught us how to spin. And then she taught us how to weave. And then I made a little handbag. It was blue and pink. I can remember it. I don't know what's happened to it. And with my French knitting doll, I made a pink strap across the shoulder thing, and it had all these pink tassels on it. And I think my mum helped me finish it off, actually, because I never finished anything at school. I am a completer finisher now, I'm an adult, but I never finished anything at school. Right, I'm just going to have to click you off because I'm heading to a part of Bristol, in North Bristol, that I actually am not familiar with, so I need to use my phone as a sat-nav. I'll come back to you later when I get to Beks' house. I'm slightly early, and I just don't think it's fair to turn up early, so I've pulled over. Hopefully the person whose house I've pulled up in front of isn't going to look and think, what the hell is she doing? What on earth is she doing, eh? The one thing that Mrs. Lenton didn't teach us was how to ply, or how to refine our spinning skills, or how to do it properly, because she was basically trying to teach us as if we were rustic cave women. Hello, it's me from the future. I just need to interject. You can tell it's me from the future because I don't have my Sunday face on. I think I've merged two separate memories into one when I'm talking about my spinning and my woven little bag that I made. I think they are two memories I've blurred the edges of and stuck together. So take everything with a pinch of salt, eh? I'm sure she's dead now. I mean, she was old as the hills when I was young, and I'm getting quite old now, so I'm sure she's passed away, but it'd be so nice to be able to go back, wouldn't it? I'd love to be able to go back to her and say, I loved your lessons, not all of them, but most of them. I'd also love to go back and tell Mrs. Williams how unkind she was and incorrect. And she was mean to my mum, so I'd like to flick her on the forehead and say, oi, you don't be mean to my mum. Right, I'm just going to go onto my WhatsApp and see what number Beks lives in. Right, this is take two. Right.
Pop!
What time is it, girls?
It's Prosecco time!
This is so so laughing.
It's cute, isn't it?
That is such a good idea, putting these sails up so you don't get the spiddies landing on you.
That is exactly why I've got that.
I know, that's what you said.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly.
amazing.
And it just makes it feel that little bit cozy. Yes.
I love
Try that
this.
in. Yeah, it's gorgeous. That works.
Where'd you get?
Careless whisper.
Oh, I love George.
Oh, she'll sing.
I was going to marry George.
Yeah, George wasn't going to marry you.
No. I wrote him a letter and asked and he said no.
Then just sort of put it through the loop and kind of back on itself, so you're holding it to itself. So it's just, that's his anchor point. I'm nailing it. So basically what you want to do now is, I usually go,
Oh, is that too far down though? Yours is
no,
right
that'll be
at the
fine,
top.
because you'll have to undo it anyway. Mine might slip off because mine is only 4-ply anyway, yours is DK. So I would spin it clockwise.
Okay.
Give it a nice spin. So basically, the aim is to put as much energy into this as you can, and then gently, controlled, let the energy bounce up into that.
Okay.
Right, so
It's a physics lesson.
No, it really is. So give it a really nice spin and let it spin and spin and spin.
I thought I was
Put a
doing
nice sort of energy.
Oh,
Right, let's
how
do
do you
it.
do it? You're in control. I'm going to knock a tooth out.
You've got probably just your plaster as well, probably.
Yeah, it's because of my injury.
So right, you've
That's really your face.
Well, you've got a nice sort of energy in that. That's
Have I?
fine, yeah. So then park it. So this is called park and draft. So you park it between your legs, and what you do is you hold on to this bit to stop the energy bouncing up too quickly, and then you draft this bit, and then you let some energy bounce up. There you go, and then you
It's done it. It's
hold
twisted.
it. Now hold it back up to this. Yeah, there.
There.
Hold it there. Don't let the energy go yet. Draft it, and let a bit. Yeah, try and put a bit more. That's it. And let it bounce up. All right.
Oh, I think I've lost my energy.
That's fine. So then,
It needs a barocca.
so then pinch here. Pinch at the top where you finished,
Yeah, and spin.
and spin again.
Oh no, this is the bit.
Clockwise. Nice lot of spin. Nice lot of energy. Let it really spin.
Oh, that was a bit better. Oh my gosh, it's
That was
making,
good.
making my stomach tense.
Parked. You're always making sure this top thumb and finger are pinching it so that because what happens? Look at yours. No, don't compare it.
No.
If picturing it in your brain, like, don't let it go up too high. Don't press it. Draft it. Keep going. Oh, you stopped. Yay!
It's so thin you won't even be able to focus on it.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh.
No, that's really good. Look at you.
I've got it.
Show us yours, Claire.
By Jove, I think she's got it.
I think she's got it.
Now, what you have to do is you butterfly it.
Yes. Show them how to butterfly it.
Oh, you could work on QVC with moves like that.
The craft channel. I love this. Hang on, I feel like a ham-fisted wolf. Are you ready to see what I spun?
Yep.
Come closer.
How long were you doing this? You spent all day and you came up with that?
No, a couple of hours.
It's not even...
It is! It's spun! Don't let it unravel
Why is
because
that?
I need to ply it. Don't unravel it. I've got a tiny turtle. It's now Tuesday, so I've had some time to have a go at spinning, and it's not coming naturally to me, I have to say. I tried plying what I'd spun, and I thought it was going all right until I wound it onto the turtle and it looked like it had unravelled. So I shall. That's Toby making a funny noise as he comes in. I thought he was coming in, but he chose not to. Yeah, hopefully when I soak it, I think you have to soak it for a bit and then you can do something with it. Make it into a skein, but I might just knit it off the turtle. That sounds so funny. Hello, Morgan. A little bit aggravated today, aren't you? Go away. Right. So here we go. Here's... Can't believe I'm showing you this. Is awful. That's not too bad there, look. Anyway, I'm at the point where I've enjoyed having a go, and I would like to continue. Digging. I would like to continue. We'll see how we go, because look, this has improved. I'm still having focusing issues. Hold on, I know what I can do. There, see? That's pretty good. And my turtle's looking much better. And Claire told me of a good person to have a look at on YouTube, so I've watched a couple of her videos. So I'm just gonna carry on, you know. And it's just attached to some lovely, lovely memories, and it blows my mind that Jake, muscular dystrophy is what he's got. I said it was motor neurone syndrome, but it's muscular dystrophy. That he designed this on a computer and then printed it out on a printer. How clever is that? And it works so well. I mean, I know nothing about Turkish spindles, but it's you know, it's sturdy. It's balanced, it works really well. I've nothing to compare it to, but it's pretty. Look at the colour, so pretty. He's doing cookie cutters now. They're really cool as well. The Christmas ones I've seen, Beks showed them on her podcast. Just pack that away, it's crinkly. You've got the cookie cutter, and then there's an insert that you press on the top, and that makes an embossed pattern on the cookies. They look really, really good. I was about to say I might get some, but then I remembered that I've got my nan bought me the Christmas before she died, and I'd got into baking a bit. I was getting married, yeah, that Christmas, the Christmas I was getting married, she bought me 100 cookie cutter set, a set of 100 cookie cutters. I expect my mum guided her. Off on a tangent again. Now, Claire not only gave me the gift of learning how to spin properly on an actual spindle, not a stick stuck in a spud. Stick spud spinning. Stick spud spinning. Spud stick spinning. She started making these bags. I understand that they will be for sale in her shop. This is so vogue now, isn't it? English paper piecing. And I love that it's so vogue, because whenever something gets its day in the spotlight, there's a whole heap of things around it that spring up as well. So you get more ideas, you get more hashtags, so you can find more people making these things. You get crafters that are making craft bags that are not project bags as we know it for knitting, but more for the paraphernalia that you need for English paper piecing. I know that Joanna from Stitching the High Notes makes crafters bags, which are more like, they're almost like a flat A4, A5, A1, A3. Hey, Bab. Zippered like a briefcase, crafter's briefcase, that's great for cross stitch, that's what it's for, and also English paper piecing and what have you. So I love that it's having its heyday. Yes, I'm going to take her out for a walk at 2:30. Come on. Oh, oh, you're lumpy. Oh, you're lumpy. Come on. Oh, you don't yield very easily, do you? All stiff and limbs everywhere. There we go. That's better, because I know you just want to sit on my lap and have a cuddle, don't you? I can hear you saying, yes, I do. I love your soft ears. And your little waggy tail. And your cold nose. I love everything about you, Bunny. Go on then, me nutter. Go on then. Go on, you can get off now. Ow. You're hurting me. Get off me. What are you doing? Bless you. I'm covered in hair. Yeah, so, this is gorgeous. I love this fabric. Do you know, it feels like Liberty. That one looks like Liberty Lawn. I think they're all Liberty Lawn, you know. It's got her label there, Birdstreet UK, Etsy.com. And not only that, it's lush. I love it. It's pink like my nose. My nose is always pink. It's the Hiddleston base and it's called Move Over Darling. Oh, I love it. Look. The possibilities. So Claire, bless her, when she gave me this, she said, look, I know you're slightly overrun with things and you've said that, you know, you've got a lot of everything, which is true for all of us, isn't it? We've all got healthy stashes. She said, so look, I don't mind if you don't want to keep it. I was like, what? What's she talking about? The reason why my stash is so healthy is because I like keeping things and I like collecting. But also I am knitting through it all and using it all up. But I've just, this is deep stash. Let me show you this. This is where scissors land on my head and I get impaled. Oh, I forgot to say, so Beks made and gave me a candle with some of those wooden wicks in it. So I'll try to remember to take some video later when it's lit as a bit of an outro for this. I've taken some video, as you can see here, that shows you the candle, but it's not lit and it's daylight and this a candle. But I love it when it's lit. It does this lovely crackling thing, which I feel like we're entering the season of log fires now, but it's too hot really to have a log fire, so to have a crackling candle, it's perfect. So talking about stash and knitting through it, I have got this. This is a discontinued yarn. I don't think I've even kept a ball band because I think I rolled them all up. Yeah, I rolled up all the balls. I think it was Rowan. It's an alpaca silk. Yeah, no ball bands. I'm sure I can Google it. I'm not even 100% sure how many meters I've got, but I'm pretty certain in a bag this big, I'm pretty sure that I have got enough to make this sweater called the I don't know how you say it. It's fern in Danish. It's the Bregne sweater. Bregne sweater. There, the Bregne sweater. That's the shape of it, and it's got this beautiful herringbone at the top. I haven't printed out the front page of this pattern just because I'm trying to save on ink. Not because I'm a stingy moo, but ink is chemicals, comes in plastic cartridges. It's not good, is it, really, environmentally? So I try to limit what I print. So that's the front of it. That's Lurka from the Fibre Tales podcast. Oh, she's so peaceful and beautiful. So I've done my swatch. I don't often swatch, but she emphasises that for this, because they're two completely different stitches, you have to swatch and make sure that your garter stitch that comes from the shoulders down fits this. So she's very much, you've just got to make sure that you have the same number of stitches as she mentions in her gauge swatch. It's not as hard as it sounds, and I'm pretty much there with this. I'm literally this much too many stitches, which means that the size would be a bit smaller. However, I really feel with alpaca, once it's there's more of it, more of a swatch, it will give more, because it sort of stretches out. So I think that having that little one extra stitch is just going to give me a little bit of freedom for the stretch. But isn't it a wonderful stitch? And the back's rather attractive too. And it's a bit of a fiddle to do, but it's very easy. So I'm enjoying that. And that's going to be one of those things where I just do half an hour now and again, because herringbone stitch it's hard on my elbow, and I'm still nursing my elbow as much as possible. Two more things to talk about before I go. One of them is obviously the raffle for the Beaches and Birds Song Advent Calendar. Today is the 29th of September. I intend to have this up this evening, so that gives you 24 hours or so if you wanted to be in it to win it and haven't got around to it. The link will be below. And yeah, I'll draw the name on Thursday. Second thing is, so it was so funny when I got to Beks and Clare, Beks's house, and Clare was there, and obviously I took my knitting with me, and I was like, oh, I'll just show you what I'm knitting, because that's what knitters do. And I was like, yeah, so I'm knitting this. I'm the gingerbread man. And I looked at it and went, oh, you'd know that because you dyed it. So I've got I'm a Gingerbread Man by Mr. B's yarn, and actually the contrast colour is a Lay family yarn from one of their Ironbridge sock collections, and I figured I'd probably have enough for both the socks if I didn't do a full, for both pairs of socks, if I didn't do a full contrast. So I did this because I've seen it done somewhere. Either Jules just did a little bit around the top, or I think Sandra Cherry Heart did. Oh, it smells lush. Did the same. Gone off on a tangent. Can't remember what I was saying anyway. It's in the iCloud. And then I said, oh yeah, and I'm knitting this. this sock, and this is it's Midnight Fox. Claire dyed this as well, Clare and John, Mr. B's yarns. So I was obviously a proper big fan girl. Now this sock is by Kathrin from Bed of Roses. She's given 6 of these to raffle off. I'm going to do them in December. Rather goes nicely with my outfit here, doesn't it? And what I want to talk about this sock, I'll do all the proper information when I finish the second one, which I haven't cast on just yet. But I don't get a second sock syndrome, so I'm not too worried about that. This lovely pattern, absolutely love it. Really think it's gorgeous. Oh, what's happened there then? I've just got a little end poking out. Oh, this, dropped it. This yarn here matches my hide and hammer bag up there. This top one here is Mr. B's yarn as well. Can't remember the colourway. Can you see the crosses and circles? So it's like hugs and cuddles. Anyway, the pattern leaves you with 12 stitches to Kitchener across the top, and as much as I can do Kitchener, I find it absolutely fine. If I get interrupted, I kind of lose my thread because I have to chant front knit on, back purl off, or whichever way around it goes. But I was watching, oh bunny, but I was watching 4th Star Knits, Heather, who's an absolute hoot, love her. And she was talking about how when she Kitcheners, she hates the fact that you get these funny little ears on the edge, which you're not supposed to get when you do this technique, but somehow I have, but that's probably because I'm special. And she said that she'd been told by her commenters on her vlog to try the Finchley technique, which you do with your sock inside out. Oh, it's a game changer. It's so easy. It's so easy. You literally sort of knit through 2 stitches, one on the front needle, one on the back needle, and you flip one of them off, and then you come back purling through the 2 stitches, and then you flip it. Obviously, I'm explaining it beautifully, and you won't need to look up a tutorial, but I've linked it below. So, just incredible. Incredible. I've never Kitchenered so easily and so quickly. The Finchley graft. That's what it is. There we go. There's a picture of the socks. I didn't do this 3rd colour here, or 2nd colour, because I didn't have one in my stash that was going to look right, so I just didn't do it, which is fine. Kathrin, who wrote the pattern, said, hey, that's cool. It's, you know, patterns are guides after all. I love the smell of that. That's a little soap and felt. Smells lush. So that's me. I'm done. And my tea is lukewarm. Ugh. I've got a really sore tongue and I don't know why. Happens now and again. It's a bit like having a sore throat, but it's a sore tongue. But I can't pinpoint what has done it. Oh my goodness. Toby's just walked past the window. He's got this like fertiliser spray backpack on. Looks like a spaceman. Right. I need to go and walk the dog, go to the zero waste shop, pick up the children, cook the supper. It is now nearly 2 o'clock. I'm looking forward to sitting down at 8 o'clock. $5 hours time. It'll go like that.